Hey guys, LazyMan here. Now I'm sure some of you guys are now anticipating a mod video, but as I promised, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick overview of this Dell U2410 monitor first. Then we'll get into some mod videos probably next week or so. But anyway, just so you guys know, I'm starting to catch a cold, so my voice may be a little raspy through this, but we'll do the best we can. Alright, so let's get started and we'll take a look at this. Alright guys, as you can see, I went ahead and removed the monitor from the base. This way I can show you actually how sturdy this base has been built. And as you can see here, they've inlaid a piece of aluminum on the bottom of the base, and this actually gives it quite a bit of weight to the base and makes it quite sturdy. And as you can see here, they've actually attached this with 5 different screws, whereas some monitors you'll see there's a single screw down there holding the base together. So if we flip this over, you can see that here this is plastic, but the main backbone to the base is made out of metal with another plastic piece mounting to the monitor itself. So anyway, let's go ahead and put the monitor back on and we'll see how easy that attaches. Alright guys, as you can see, there's 2 little tabs sticking up on the upper portion of this base, and all you need to do is take the monitor, and let's see if I can do this. I'm looking at it backwards, but this just slides right over the 2 tabs and then clicks right into place. And then to remove it, let me see if I can show this. There's a little button right here. You push this, tilt forward, and this comes right back off. So that's actually pretty easy. Let's go ahead and get that mounted again. Okay, so that makes it really nice. Okay, not only does this monitor swivel back and forth, but it also tilts, and then it has a height adjustment that is about 4 inches. That's all the way to the bottom, and then that's all the way to the top. Also, this monitor will rotate in a portrait mode. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the connections on the back of the panel here. And these are actually coming off the bottom in a downward fashion as opposed to coming directly off the back, which I kind of prefer. I think it's easier to manage your cables this way. But anyway, starting from left to right, we do have the power connector. Then we have a speaker power connector, and this is for an optional speaker bar that you can purchase separately. Display port, HDMI, not 1 but 2 DVI ports, and these are HDCP compatible. We also have a VGA port, your component connections along with your composite. We have an audio out connection. This is a USB in port, and this allows the monitor to bring power to 4 different USB ports, 2 which are on the bottom here. On the left side of the monitor here, we have the other 2 USB ports along with a card reader. Also on the left hand side of the monitor is a little pull out tab here, and we'll go ahead and pull that out. And this is just a little convenience. What this does, it shows you where the monitor was manufactured at, gives you the serial number. The most important thing, it gives you the rev here, and this is A01. You want to make sure if you buy this Dell monitor that you get the Rev A01, not the Rev A00. There were some problems with the earlier models. They've addressed them, and at least with the first one I've hooked up, I've seen that they've solved that problem. So anyway, this is nice and handy because a lot of times, when you call in for tech support, they want the serial number. And we know how hard it is trying to find the serial number on a product, and this makes it nice. I mean, just pulling this out and all the information is right there. So anyway, a nice little feature. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the monitor that I've already set up. And if you remember in a previous video, we showed that this monitor did a pretty good job in reproducing accurate colors. So we're not going to cover that in this video. But that being said, the pre-calibrated RGB mode and the sRGB mode really wasn't to my liking. I had to go ahead and use the custom settings and adjust it manually. What I will do after I get both of these monitors set up is actually use a device like this. This is a Spider 3 Pro, and this will calibrate the monitor to accurate colors. So that's a whole different story. What I do like about this monitor, and if we can take a look here, is, let me zoom in, is that the bezel around this monitor is a kind of a textured matte black. And I really like that because it doesn't show any of the fingerprints that a piano glossy black bezel shows. So that's another feature that I wanted to show you guys that I really liked. Okay, this monitor does have a touch sensitive OSD, and if I bring that up, you can see here the options that you have, and they consider this their shortcut buttons. And you can set the first three to anything you like. For instance, I have the first one set to preset modes, brightness and contrast, input source, and then your main menu button. And we'll bring up the main menu button. And here you're going to be able to change all your different options. For instance, your brightness and contrast, your input source, and right now I have it set to DVI. Depending which input source you're using, it's going to give you different options. We go down to the color settings. Here you're going to be able to change your color, your gamma, for instance, your mode selection here. Now if I have this set to a preset mode multimedia, and then I would go ahead and change the mode selection to video, it would then give me different options within those settings. Your preset modes, I have it set to custom color. That's where you're going to set your different preset modes. Display settings, here you have your wide mode, and I have it to fill the screen, where you can set it to, in this case, aspect or 1.1. And where this is going to come in handy is, for instance, if I had this set to a video mode, then under this wide mode here, that's where I'm going to be able to set it to 16 by 9 or 4 by 3. Now remember, this is a 16 by 10 monitor. It does have the capabilities of showing a movie in 16 by 9 or 4 by 3 if you choose. You're going to be able to change your sharpness, your zoom, so on and so forth. This monitor also does have picture-in-picture settings. It does give you picture-in-picture and picture-by-picture. I have not used this yet, but I imagine that's pretty straightforward. Let's just go back. Other settings, you're going to be able to change your language for the OSD, your menu transparency, the menu timer, some of the other options here. The one that I like is the button sound. The sound as I push these buttons, if it's annoying to some, you can go ahead and turn that off. And then down under personalize, this is where you're going to set up your shortcut keys. And for instance, if I go over to the shortcut key 1, I have it set to preset modes, but you can see you can set it to whatever you like, and same thing with the rest of them. The other thing that is to be noted is if I'm set up in, I come out of here and I come over to preset modes and I go to the game mode. The game mode is going to, if I set this to game mode, it's going to reduce the lag. Now this monitor does have 34 milliseconds of lag, but while in game mode it does only have 16 seconds, or 16 milliseconds, excuse me, of lag. And I'm no super hardcore gamer, but I've played a few games on here, Call of Duty 2 and some of the other most popular games, and I have not seen any lag. So either I'm not noticing it or it's just not there. But that's something to keep in mind for all you hardcore gamers. So anyway, I think we're running out of time, so I'm going to have to wrap this up. This is not the most perfect monitor. For an IPS monitor, for the price point, this monitor, in my book, is like an 8 out of 10. I wish it would have came with a remote, especially with all the different inputs that it has and the mode selections. I wish it had a remote to change those, but it's something I can live without. But overall, you know, this monitor is excellent for graphics. The text is very sharp. You know, for your everyday surfing, it's perfect. And then when you get into Blu-ray movies, this is not a bad monitor for Blu-ray movies. And for gaming, you know, it's 6 milliseconds response time. Anything less than 6 milliseconds, you're not going to notice. The naked eye is not going to notice it. So when you see these monitors offering 2 milliseconds and you think, wow, that's going to be great, this is my opinion, you're not going to notice the difference. And with this being, you know, set up for a game mode and having a reduced lag time, you know, I think this is an overall all-around good monitor. So anyway, this is LazyMan, and we'll talk to you guys later.